You need to build a brand for longevity, my friend, because when the market does turn down in every services, right? When the competition gets tight, if you've been building that brand over there year over year over year, month over month over month, day over day over day, you're going to be the one that everybody remembers. And you're
Welcome to Be Bold Branding, where we discuss the power of differentiating yourself through your own unique story and standout personal brand.
Hello.
Hey guys.
Hi.
How's everybody doing out there? It's a fantastic day. We got a good topic for y'all today.
Yep. We get a lot of questions about this topic, about when you should brand, the best times to brand yourself or rebrand yourself. So we get questions like, how often should my brand change or refresh? Should I wait for a slow time in my business to work on my brand? What if the market shifts? What if my customers' needs change? What if I'm too busy? The questions go on and on. So today we're going to tackle them for you, and we're going to answer those questions with the topic, 6 best times to work on your brand. I'm Tanya Eberhardt, founder of BrandFace, and we help business stars differentiate themselves, and we do that through personal branding.
And I am Michael Carr, the COO of BrandFace. I was actually a client before I bought into the company for what it did for me. And now we're the only comprehensive personal brand building system across the globe. Let's jump right into this thing. So one of the number one thing out of the 6 things that is a good time to work on your brand is entry into any industry. So if you're initially starting in a new industry, and you can build a brand even if you're starting fresh in that industry, right? Which is important because most people would say that I don't have any experience in this. I don't have this backlog. How am I going to build this brand? I don't even know what I'm doing right here yet. You know, yes, that is actually the time that you want to start building your brand because you can define it and move forward, right? And it's possible to find your focus, which is important to your brand, your differentiation, which is crucial to your brand, and your direction, even if you're stepping into a new industry for the very first time, right? And you do this by looking at what you have to offer, not necessarily who you are, right? And what kind of business you want to create. So entry is the very first time that you would definitely want to work on your brand.
And I'm going to add something to that because we do get this question a lot. What if I'm new to an industry? How don't I need to work in that industry for a little while to find out what I want out of that industry, like who my ideal customers really are or whatever? And it's like, well, you can go at it that way, but it makes a lot more sense to create the kind of life that you want, right? So if you are going into an industry, you're going into it already because you have a passion for it, something about that industry.
Some draw to that industry.
Exactly. And what is that passion? Well, that's one of the things that differentiates you. You define what that looks like. And then, okay, well, who's my ideal customer? The question is, who do you want it to be? Who do you want? Who do you enjoy working with? Even if you worked with them in another industry, what kind of personalities, what kind of traits, what kind of character do you want to work with? And so you can start there because I can tell you one thing, what people know, they know who they don't want to work with.
Yeah, that's for sure. They'll figure that out quick.
Real quick. So the second best time to work on your brand is re-entry into an industry. So we've heard from lots of people who left an industry and then later came back for various different reasons. And sometimes scenarios.
Sometimes you return to what you know.
That's right. A lot of people do that actually. Sometimes that things can drastically change over a few years though. So if you go away and you come back to the industry a few years later, you can face a lot of changes. So I'll give you an example. We have a client who is a veterinarian and she spent probably about 8 years as a practicing veterinarian. When she decided she wanted to leave that industry as a practicing vet, and wanted to reposition herself as a national speaker and influencer in that industry because she was very passionate about what she calls the common sense care of animals, a very pragmatic look about running a veterinarian office. So that did not require, however, a whole new brand redo. It just required a brand refresh because all the things that were important about her for that position, and all the things that made her passionate and her story didn't change. It's just a reposition or a shift, right? So all those, so you can shift things, and that's one of the times it's necessary when you're re-entering an industry or kind of making a little shift in an industry.
Yep. Number 3. Hey, I'm talking to everybody that is willing to work in the United States here today, no matter what your industry is. If you want to work, you got more of it than you can handle. And I know there are thousands of you out there that are going to agree with this statement. If you want to have all the money that you can make, all you got to do is get out here, because it's there. There is such need in every industry right now, right? But when we talk to people and we tell them your business is booming, you should be working on your brand, a lot of times they say, what? I don't have time for that, right? Because it runs counterintuitive, right? You're thinking, okay, business is great. I'm doing awesome. Why do I need to build a brand? You need to build a brand for longevity, my friend, because you're not going to have it if you don't do that. Businesses go like this, like this. If you're in the real estate industry, for instance, like I was, I've made money in every downturn of the real estate business. In fact, I have proven to be able to make more money in the downturn than when business is booming, right? In the normal course of business. Why is that? It's because I worked on my brand while I was successful. Okay. When I met Tanya, I was flying 250,000 miles a year. I was licensed in 30 states. I had 3 corporate offices, but I knew that the business of REOs and short sales and stuff like that was eventually going to settle out. In fact, I wanted it to, because I wanted my portfolio in the Atlanta area to come back to market and do really well. That was the time I worked on my brand, because I was launching a new brokerage, because I knew that we were going to get back to regular arm's length transactions in that real estate form. So I wanted to build that brand out right then while I was doing it. So it's very counterintuitive in some ways to say, hey, I'm doing really good, I need a brand, but you really need to be thinking about it like that for yourself, because when the market does turn down in every services, right? When the competition gets tight in every service, if you've been building that brand over there year over year over year, month over month over month, day over day over day, you're going to be the one that everybody remembers, and you're not going to see these hills like this in your industry. You're going to plane that out. So I'm person when they say, well, I don't have time to do it, I truly was somebody that had an argument that I did not have time to do it. And Tony says, yes, you do. Yes, you do. And we're going to do it. And you do it while the business is good, and you're the one sitting at the top of the pipeline when it dries up for everybody else.
Yeah, that's true. And one other thing you may not be thinking about is when business is booming, well, guess who's going to have more competitors in your space?
Oh,
you
yeah.
are.
Exorbitant
right?
profits springs ruinous competition. Don't ever forget it. Exorbitant profits spring ruinous competition. When people sniff out that you're making money, they're coming after what you do, because they think they can do it better than you. But if you've been building that brand consistently while you were making money and doing well, you got the money to spend on the marketing, you got the money to spend to put it out there and let everybody know. When that market does like this, you're still doing like this.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. And, you know, one other thing is we understand the time challenges. We know when business is booming, you are busy, right? Yeah. We are busy. And that's why we designed the program that we had that an average client spends 1 hour and 15 minutes per week in our program.
That's
period. It's done for you.
It.
We handle everything for you. And in 6 to 8 weeks, your brand is ready to go to define, developed, and displayed, and ready to put out.
And you'll be able to make money with it first week.
It's happened many times. Okay. Reason number 4, best time to work on your brand is, let's just take it the opposite
look at the
direction.
other side of it.
When business is slower, right? Mm-hmm. Most industries, as Michael said, will have a very cyclical nature. Business is always up and down, and you may experience some slow periods. Maximize that time by working on the most important thing you can work on, you.
Yes.
So we always say, when you can't change the circumstances, change your circumstances. Mm-hmm. Besides, if it's that slow, what else you got to do?
I know, right? Make a plan.
That's true. That's true.
Plot your work and work your plot. All right. Number 5, when long-term opportunities in the market appear. Okay. That's definitely when you want to do this. Okay. Let's go back to my industry. Remember the mortgage debacle, 2007, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. right? Especially in 9 and 10, things were ugly, right? This affected all types of business. It broke down pipelines in all kind of ancillary businesses, not just in real estate. Not to mention the fact that it destroyed a lot of values of that time. And anytime there's a shakeup, that means that yes, opportunities disappear. They're going to, flutter away from you. But I promise you, new opportunities always appear when something else is growing out of that decay. And it happens all the time. So don't be afraid of things like that. I talk to people all the time. They're like, oh, when's the market going to crash? I'm like, what market are you talking about? The tulip market, the orange market. Like, what market are you talking about? They don't know what talking that. Why would you can't look for that? When you're prepared, though, with your brand, and it does happen, and you've got your focus on that, sometimes you need to shift it just a little bit. My example was, I was a regular real estate agent and investor, doing good, had my portfolio, market tanks. All you see on the news is how mortgage debacle has ruined everything, right? I shifted my focus just a little bit, kept my brand, moved into the industry, blew up in that industry, saw that industry, the REO and short sales and foreclosures start to go down and really go down on that, shifted my focus just a little bit, still haven't changed my brand. And then I put it towards where it needed in that market. So no matter what business you're in, you're going to see those fluctuations. And sometimes it's just a tiny little adjustment because you still are the same person. You've still got the same experience, right? The reasons that you do what you do have not changed. And you don't have to do this entire rebrand. It's really, like Tanya said earlier, a refresh.
A refresh. Absolutely. Okay. And so final number 6, best time to work on your brand. Well, this is when your brand is not defined, developed, and displayed properly. We've saved
this. If you don't have one.
Yeah, exactly.
Or if you think you have one and you actually don't have one.
We've saved the most important for last. In fact, none of the other 5 reasons matter at all if this one is not dialed in, right? This one trumps them all. So, if you are wondering if your brand is properly defined, developed, and displayed, well, we have an awesome tool for you. It's free right now. Okay. So if you go to BrandFaceScore.com, BrandFaceScore.com, let me type this in here, BrandFaceScore.com, that's going to allow you to give us some information, and we're going to
we'll see if you have let's see if you have one or not.
We'll let you know how your brand is performing for you and where it might need some improvement. And it's all free.
Totally free.
BrandFaceScore.com. Check that out, guys. So we'll just do a quick little recap here. The 6 best times to work on your brand. Number 1, when you're entering into a new industry. 2, you're re-entering into an industry after being out for some time. 3, when business is booming. Don't think you're too busy.
Do it.
Right? You're never too slick to get another greason, right?
That's right.
Michael's grandpa says. So don't slack on it, right? Number 4, when business is slower. What else are you going to do? Work on yourself, the most important thing. 5, when long-term opportunities in the market appear.
Be paying attention.
And 6, when your brand is not defined, developed, and displayed properly.
That's right.
All right. And if you guys like what you heard today, if this helped you guys in any way,
hope it does.
Please like it, love it, share it, and ding, subscribe, guys, so we can keep delivering this kind of content to you and help that bolster that brand.
Exactly, guys. Hey, it's about prosperity. And when we talk about prosperity over here, we're not just talking about money. We're talking about a true 360 of an abundant life that we honestly wish for every one of you out there. But we know right here at BrandFace that prosperity favors the bold. So we say be bold, folks, especially with your brand, especially in 2022. It's going to be a fantastic year across all industries. I'm telling you, stay positive, keep digging. There's more work out there than you can get a hand on.
That's so true.
Thank you, Ms. Tom.
Thank you. All right. Thanks for joining us, guys. We'll see you here next time.
Bye.
Night.
Brought to you by BrandFace, the only comprehensive personal brand building system across the globe.